All right. All right. We're back in here playing this game. Uh just playing a quick little game here. Um really just gonna go through this really quickly. So, first off, wanted to say that okay, hold on. I be having a little bit of technical difficulties. No, I think we're pretty good. Okay. Just, just playing some video games. I know that sounds really childish, but just had a little break here. And I feel as though in order to get the best type of work done, sometimes just gotta do it this way. Wait a minute. You know, sometimes it's just how it goes. In order to have the best type of um uh wait a minute. All right, so kind of usurped it. So hold on. All right. No, I think this is the way we're gonna have to do it. Okay. So yeah, like I think I have the best days when I play video games. So so I'm just gonna play for a small amount of time, not that long. Got all day. Just not a marathon. Just a quick stream. Just to get my head off. Relax. You know what I'm saying. By the way, guys, don't listen to the people that say that video gaming is for losers. My boys, y'all already know what's good. You know what I mean? Trust in yourself. Trust in your gut instinct that you are a human being. People that try to tell you that you're stupid and you're young and you don't know shit, they were once stupid and they were young. And guess what? The reason they say that is because somebody told them that when they were young. I mean, you're not stupid. I mean, you just like good shit. I mean, video games are fucking awesome. Video games are one half of the reason why technology and computers are are having such an expansion of what it is. You understand what I'm saying? That without us gamers, then y'all wouldn't have computers. Y'all wouldn't have all these things that have been created. Without computers, we wouldn't have this type of quality of life and technological expansion and technological revolution that we're having. Okay, so you're welcome, you're welcome, world, for us on behalf of gamers. You're welcome. You know what I mean? Yeah, they swear to be smart. People swear that they're so smart, and then they don't even know how the world works. I mean, um,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
So
what
what
was I
was I
going to
gonna
say?
say? Uh, what was I gonna say? Well, I was gonna say that you know, first of all, uh, there's a common misconception here. If you come across my stream, bro, I am a Christian or Catholic. I do believe in that, but furthermore, I seem to I can't help but notice how many people are so delusional these days, and how not even being a Christian, but how we can still agree even though we're not Christians. We can agree on one thing, and that is right. Other than gaming is awesome, and that you know it's for it's built for by and for smart people, just like computers, just like phones, just like everything else, and all this stuff is built for by smart men. Okay. By the way, men. You know what I mean? I know that there's some women that play video games. And there's some women that do this stuff, but mainly it was built by men. And I'm not gonna say that there's no women. The first woman that did the computations to go to outer space to the moon was a woman. You know what I mean? She's the first one that was the one doing all that math behind that shit. You know what I mean? back when you actually had to do math. You didn't just have a computer and a calculator. All right. There are some some women that she was an African woman too. She was the first black woman in the space program and stuff like this. Um, what was I gonna say? Black. You know what I mean? Not African like, but black American. Um, I don't even know why they call him black, but whatever. Like, you know what I mean. Another thing, what I was gonna say though, is that one thing we could agree on is that men are awesome and women are fucking stink. I mean, and the reason why we could say that is true is because it is. I mean, and coming from one smart guy to the next, this is not a diss. Well, actually, they stink it is a diss, but what I mean to say is that men are a bigger part to our life than women. You know what I mean? The reason why is because naturally it's a man's role to provide, protect, maintain, and etc. for women. You know what I mean? It is our job to conquer and explore. It is up to us to defend. It is up to us to conquer and up to us to maintain. You know what I mean? And remember that, because at the end, it's up to us to maintain. It's not a woman's job. It's never gonna be a woman's job. I know women like to say that they run shit, but the reality is that all that shit that they talking about goes out the window when shit goes down. I mean, every little theory that they have about what they think, how the world works and shit, that shit goes out the window. You know what I mean? Because as soon as the war pops off and there's a civil war or some invaders or some type of shit, all that shit that they be talking don't matter. I mean, just like a woman who she claims she thinks she runs stuff, but as soon as you smack her across the face, I'm not suggesting you should smack her, but as soon as a guy gets physical, all that shit that we're talking about doesn't fucking apply anymore. It's just nonsense. You understand? It's just nonsense. And on some level, I think they just do it because it's the only thing they can do. I mean, because they can't really control us men, so the only thing they can do is complain and try to like brainwash us, try to control us that way. Like Jean Grey can't really stop Wolverine. She has to try to get inside his mind. You know what I mean? Right? Am I right though? Like she can't stop Wolverine. You know what I mean? So the only thing she can do is try to get inside his mind. You know what I mean? And that's basically how that goes. You know? That being said, right? Um hold on a second. Hold up. Hold up. Hey, yo, hit me up, bruh. Bruh. Oh, come on, man. It sucked, dude. I knew that was gonna happen for some reason. Anyway, what I was gonna say though is that, like, okay, so I'm not trying to do this to diss women. I'm just talking honestly with men, with young boys. I mean, I know that you'll hear a lot of crazy stuff in your life, like, and one of those things is gonna be by women who claim that everything, that their life or whatever, that they're better than you. The reality is, man, they were slaves and they just got freed because you just freed them out of the kitchen. They haven't had. That's bullshit. Um, but like, no, the reality is that they had to beg and plead to get their civil rights because they don't have those. Men had to give it to them. I mean, uh, the reality is that half of these women are evil. More than half, actually, about 90% of them are evil, and yet we don't kill them and we don't even shame them. It's the equivalence of like letting kidnappers just walk free and whatever. Just letting kidnappers roam around and talk shit about you and do all that shit, and they're kidnappers. You understand? It's the same shit. You know what I mean? It's the same damn thing. Whenever you hear a woman talking shit, I mean, just remember that she's just like a kidnapper. She's a fucking deplorable, you know what I mean, disgraceful, criminal, evil, wicked, you know what I'm saying? Just think about that, because a female whore is the same as a male kidnapper. You know, they're both deplorable. I'm saying they both should be in jail. In the eyes of, like I said, this is my Christian side. They are on the same category of people. They would get stoned to death. You know what I mean? And back in the day, over 2,000 years ago, before Jesus, the law was to stone them from your midst. You know what I mean? A kidnapper and a whore would both get stoned. You know what I mean? There ain't no in between. You know what I'm saying? Adultery is adultery. But you know, religion also states that, I mean, God and you know, the Old Testament of the Bible, which a bunch of y'all probably never read, also states that no, actually, that was in the Old Testament. But since Jesus came around, he said, you know, if you're a sinner too, you know, who are you to judge others? Okay, fine. You know, but Jesus says that there's no such thing as divorce. You know, anything but holy matrimony, which is the first person is waiting, is being a virgin. This is how you're supposed to live life according to Jesus. Okay, you're supposed to stay a virgin until you decide you want to get married with someone, right? And then you get married with that person, and then you consecrate the marriage by having sex with your wife and your husband, respectively. You know, not no gay shit. Okay, by the way, because gay stuff is an abomination. Any kind of gayness is an abomination towards God. So there's no such thing as a marriage between gay people. That's an abomination. And so, but also, furthermore, you know what I mean? There's no such thing as an abortion, because that's an abomination. That's actually murder. You know, moreover, all right, hold on. I gotta jump in this. I gotta have his back. I'll get back to that in a second. I do got a point. Son of a bitch, bro. Come on, man. You can't even cover me. Anyway, that was fucked up. They're dead. All right, this is stupid, man. You should at least cover it or some shit. All right, look. Furthermore, that doesn't count, because this is what's more important to me. This is just tips and knowledge for you to help you in your life. Okay. There's no such thing as divorce. Also, right, according to Jesus. Now, Jesus doesn't state too much on the topic about sexual morality, because you're all a bunch of perverse generations. Y'all a bunch of perverts that never listen anyway. You know, and y'all have been handed over to your reprobated minds. If you can't tell that cheating is evil, if you can't tell that abortion is murder, if you can't tell that this is like not, you know, respected, is not commendable, is not idealized, and it shouldn't be the norm, then you're already going to hell, and there's no stopping you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're that detached with, you know, with humanity and stuff, you know, if you don't listen, then you're just a devil. You know, God doesn't spend too much. He didn't come here to try to help the sinners. I mean, I know a lot of people say that, but it specifically says he did come for them, but he came to give every man, woman, and child a sword. You know what I mean? For the new world, a sword he came to give you, right? Because, and you know, unlike what you hear a lot about your kids, and you have to listen to your parents. According to Jesus, your own enemies would be the ones inside your own household. You know what I mean? Including your mother, including your father, including your brothers, your sisters. You are to guard yourself against everybody. You know, and individually, you will be closer to God in that sense, because you're supposed to place God above everybody, including your family, including your sons and your daughters, and your mother and your father and your family, and, you know, your loved one and everybody else, even your own kids, right? You're supposed to place God before them too. Now, those things are reverberate, right? What is it, reverberate? They echo, right? Even in the Old Testament, you know, when he tried to put when he told Abraham to sacrifice his child, you know, as a test to see if he actually would do it for God. You know what I you know, but now it's like, you know, Jesus says, not, you know, takes it a step further, says, you know, actually, this is for everybody. You know, everybody should defend themselves against everybody else, including their own family. And also says that, you know, the son will not die for the sins of the father, you know, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Unlike when it says that in the beginning where it says that you know, that God will visit the iniquities of the father. Jesus says that the son will not die for the sins of the father. You know what I mean? But you know, it does. So Jesus broke generational curses. You know, they've already been broken. I mean, this is something I've always understood. You know what I mean, as well, right? But what's really cool is to know that, you know, you will get destroyed in your own lifetime if you don't listen, right? Like, you will go to hell and you will suffer eternal damnation in your life. I mean, like, it's all up to you. You know, there's nobody you can blame. There's nothing. It's literally in your hands. And you know, and God gives you the manual, the GPS, and the help that you need through Jesus. But again, you know, that is basically like a lot of summarizing, but whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm not an expert in the field. I don't work for a church, and I'm not a preacher or anything. But but I will say this: there's no such thing as divorce. So divorce inside of a marriage, in the eyes of God, doesn't exist. There's no such thing as divorce. Remarriage, there's no such thing as remarriage. There's no such thing as dating. There's no such thing as hookups. There's no such thing as you know what I'm saying, like, these you know, no. Okay? All of that is adultery. Right? All of that is a grave sin, you know, called adultery. Okay? Adultery is a grave sin. See, when my ex-girlfriend left me, she said, you know, she's a good person and going through spiritual or whatever. You know, she says, and she said, you know, you're a drunk, you know, and because she was a devil. You know what I mean? Let me just say she's the devil. You know, these women, the reason I say she's a devil, I saw a meme, right, on, that said, right, it said that, no, you know, the way that you, like, when you realize that you went out with the devil because you told everybody what she did, the cheating and the manipulation, the lying, and nobody believed you. Nobody believed you. And everybody actually said that you were mentally ill. Just like it happened to me. And I realized that it hasn't just happened to me, it happens to a lot of people. Right? I'm not alone in this. Because, gentlemen, women are fucking evil. You know what I mean? Like, how many times whores are evil, rather. But you first have to understand that women are evil. When you understand that women are capable of being evil, that then, you know, because the thing is that we're brainwashed into thinking that they're not. So the first thing you got to understand is that women are evil. And then when you get a little bit desensitized and open up to the idea, understand what makes them evil and what separates good from the evil. You know what I mean? Because you just don't believe that they're evil. You're like, well, they're weaker than us and they don't do as much crazy stuff as us and, you know, whatever. No, they're not as dangerous as us. That don't mean shit. They're still evil. You know what I mean? They're just not stronger than men. If they were as strong as men, this shit would be fucked up. I mean, then maybe we could slap them around and nobody would say shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, look, this is for young men to understand, right? Women are evil, okay? And there's good women and there's bad women, and there's a difference between both of those. You know what I mean? And so, like, when you hear a woman say that she's a good woman, you know, I mean, a good woman wouldn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? Why would she say that? She wouldn't have to virtue signal, you know what I mean? And have to say those things. You know what I mean? But that's what every freaking girl does when you meet them. You're like, oh, I'm a good girl. I'm traditional, blah, 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 blah. I don't go out. I don't smoke. I don't drink. No, but you cheat and you're a whore. And you abort your babies and you commit sodomy. You commit, you know, like, oh, I don't drink, but you cheat and commit sodomy and you abort your babies, which is a grave sin, which is worse than drunkenness. You know, in order for, you know, a grave sin means, right, that you can't get married until you confess your sins. You understand? Like, you can't get married. You know? I mean, these girls can't get married anyway. They're not marriage material. But, you know, they're girlfriend and hookup material, dating material, but they're not freaking marriage material. Right? So, like, basically, like I said, There's a difference between good and bad women. So a good woman wouldn't cheat. A good woman damn near wouldn't date your ass. You know what I mean? They wouldn't even hook up with you. They won't sleep with you on the first night, on the first date. You know what I mean? That's not a good woman. I don't know. I'm telling you, that's not a good woman, bruh. Like, I think that y'all have a misconception about good and bad women.
Your squad mate has entered the gulag. They'll need to survive to redeploy. Squad mate has been cleared for redeployment. Loadout drop headed your way. Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Mark the target.
Down to you, soldier.
I don't like the look of it. Damn, bro. Yeah. So anyway, you know, just so you understand, right? Good women versus bad women. Women are evil. They're capable of evil. Understand that. They're capable of evil. I mean, and you know, basically, like, you know, biblically, technically, and biblically, the women that you see nowadays, feminism, is not just illogical and nonsensical, but if you take the spiritual aspect of it, they're evil. I mean, and they're wicked and they're evil. You know, and that's according, you know, it's just logical. I mean, you might think that Christianity is like dumb, but they're not, bro. Damn it, what the fuck? They're not dumb, okay? And you know, it makes sense. Like when you realize that sex is just a ritual. You know, there's these certain people called worshippers of Baal, right? Baal. They're demonic, they're satanic, you know, and what they do, they worship pagan gods. What they do is they do sacrifices to Baal, and they've done this for thousands of years. Okay, the people that introduced it, the person that introduced it to the Hebrews was Jezebel, the Queen Jezebel. She's the one that introduced the Baal to them. She's also the whore of Babylon. She's the evil whore, the creator of all that stuff, of Babylon and all those things. It's an actual person, you know what I'm saying? And so you know, so that's the spirit that inhibits like 90% of feminists and all these women and stuff that have abortions. So, you know, technically, right? They don't even know that they worship the devil. You know what I mean? But the ritual that they have is to have sex, which is fornication, which is a grave sin in itself. And then they have the blood sacrifice, which is the abortion. You know what I mean? And that's how they used to do it. They used to actually kill their babies and throw them in a furnace. Now, you know, that they abort them, it's still the death of the baby. And, you know, which is what, you know, theologians have described as the beginning of life, as the point of conception, you know, when it's already, you know, going to be what it's going to be. In other words, once the sperm penetrates the egg, which brings me to my next point, which is that, you know, women claim that they're the giver of life or whatever, because they're a bunch of cunts. I mean, you know, they're cunts. Ironically enough, cunts is the most offensive word in the English language, but it means vagina, right? And it means vagina, but it comes from the word kuntis, which used to be a goddess, right? Ah, crap. It used to be a goddess that was named Kuntis, that was supposedly the goddess of life and creation, right? So basically, that's where that word comes from. You know what I mean? So when they say they're a bunch of cunts, it's not because they're women and they have vaginas, because they think they're the goddess of creation. They want to be, they want to be put on a pedestal. They think they're the givers of life. They think they run the shit, and et cetera, et cetera. All these cunts. That's what that means. You know what I mean? They think they run the show and everything. No, it's for real. Like, for real. That's why I'm saying, if you ever hear that word, it's because it's describing a verb, of a woman. It's just, they're just cunts. You know what I mean? That means they think they're female goddesses that control the world. They think that men are beneath them, etc., etc. And they think that they're the goddess of life, and that without them, things wouldn't be possible. you know, it's so ironic, because, like, God created men and women instead of creating, created male and female instead of creating mitosis, for example. I mean, or eggs, for us to have, outside eggs and hatch from eggs, like chickens or something. I mean, he created male and female, perfect and perfectly designed, opposite, but for of one another, but to for like the well, half of each other. You know what I'm saying? And in order to create another one of us. You know what I mean? And so we're perfect in every way that, in the way that God made us. Like, he didn't make mistakes. If he made a woman if he made a woman, it's because she has a womb, she has a uterus, she has the procreation organs that will make, that she's the one that gets pregnant, carries the baby, right? And a man is a male who has testicles, who carries sperms and carries billions of organisms inside of him called sperms, which by the way is what life is our DNA coding. It's our half, and we have the extra chromosome, and we're able to replicate. If we give our precious, essence to a woman, and in order for her to cultivate that seed and make it into a human being. So when a woman says that she's like the, give her life, that's not entirely accurate. You know what I mean? By any account, you know what I mean? Not science or spiritual or anything. That doesn't even fucking make sense. You know what I mean? Without us, she wouldn't be able to have a kid in the first place. The fact of the matter, gentlemen, is that we give her the baby. We give her the child. Those are our kids that we planted in her. And they are, like, this is why they call them commodities, because women have devalued themselves from what we treated them as, to becoming just real estate. You know what I mean? Parcels of land in which that we can or cannot grow our seeds in. You know what I mean? And they have sold and prostituted themselves out. You know what I mean? That's why it's so disgusting, when I hear these women. Because, whereas where we used to be like, on some type of common ground, and used to have some sort of understanding that we're both in this together to create another human being and stuff. Like, yes, you are my island, and I don't care what the people say. Oh, islands are bad or whatever. Fuck that. You open-minded people are way more stupider than ever. You know what I mean? I'd rather be an island than be a motherfucking, hotel that everybody comes and goes. You know what I mean? Anyway, well, whatever. Look, a very nice island. Okay, you're a very nice island, and I don't want nobody else on it except me. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? You are my, treasured island. I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that I wouldn't want nobody else trespassing on my island, doing shit to my fucking island or my woman. I'm making a metaphor. You know what I mean? So the point is, really, like, when we look for women, we obviously, like, on instincts and off of just instincts alone, right? our survival instincts tell us to look for a fertile woman that has the most highest possibility or percentage of possibility of raising and keeping a healthy baby. You know what I mean? That's just how we think, right? Unless you're on fucking drugs. I mean, if you're fucking high on some shit, then you're not gonna think about none of this shit. You know what I mean, if you listen to women, you'll probably never think about this stupid shit because they're cunts. They're trying to get you to believe that life all comes from them and shit, and it's not you that carries those billions of organisms that impregnate them. You know what I mean? So you know, what I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the truth of the matter, guys, is that we should take care of ourselves. When we have stuff like Jesus and God and religion, it tells us to eat healthy, not smoke or drink, not do any self-destructive things, and to meditate in order for us to be the healthiest men we can be, in order to have the healthiest sperm that we can have, right? And women don't want that for us. They want us to destroy ourselves, to do drugs and do all this type of bullshit, and then what? Knock them up? They don't even know how that works. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, and they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about when they be talking about what we should do. They're not men. They don't know what the fuck we should do. And you know, and not to mention that all that shit like basically is racist. Like feminism is eugenics. Eugenics is racism. You know what I mean? You know what that means? It means that some people think that some other people are superior than others or inferior than others, you know, based on nationality of origin, based on genetic alleles or like heights, weights, class, whatever, intelligence, looks, you know, whatever, wealth, like how much money you got, net worth. You know, depends. It makes you, you know, who's better than another person. That is racism. I mean, all of that is racism, by the way. But like I said, nobody says this because I don't know why, but you've been told that that's not evil, you know. So if you think racism is evil, then how can you not think that feminist is evil? You've been desensitized all your life to believe that women aren't capable of such evil. I mean, and you've been guilt tripped to take the blame for something that is not, that you didn't even do, for other men's bullshit. You know what I mean? Really ridiculous.
One supply box down. Two
You know,
remaining.
like honestly. So, you know what I mean? When you know, so exactly like I said, men carry the billions of organisms inside of themselves at all times till we're 60, till we're old, really. And what women carry is a egg, an egg that's by all purposes dead and unactivated until we activate it with a sperm that penetrates its walls and an embryo, you know what I mean, and you know what I'm saying, it starts germinating, thus commencing the fertilization process, which leads to, you know, in other words, pregnancy, right? Which is what we consider in that moment that it penetrates the walls of the egg and gets inside the egg. That is the moment of conception. That is the moment that life begins, and it starts, and that's the moment where we consider life to begin. You know what I mean? From that moment forward, God is doing His work and creating human beings through nature. You know what I mean? And so that's the point that's where I believe that that's life. That's where life begins for us. That's our journey. You know what I mean? That is our journey, our history. If you mess with any of that, then if you mess with any of that, then a human being wouldn't be. If you take out any of that, you know, a human being wouldn't be. So all of that, you know, so including including the insemination process, aka sex, you know what I mean, that's also, you know, part of it. So, you know, that's all part of our journey as human beings. That's all where we are from. You know what I mean?
All squad members are in the safe zone.
And if you believe that God is omnipotent, then you would understand that God already knows from the moment that you laid eyes on her and the moment that you knew that you were gonna have sex with her, the moment that your hormones started raging, that y'all were gonna have sex and y'all gonna get it on. that God already knew the name, the child, and the personality, and the being, and the soul that was gonna be in that child and that kid. You know what I mean? So there you go. For all these people that don't know, don't understand, that might be a little bit skeptical or a little bit confused about all of that. You know what I mean? So, you know, so when I say that a woman is evil, she stopped that process, and then she claims that they're the ones that they're the ones that have abortions, and then they're the ones that say that they are they're the goddesses of life and creation. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's what women say, and y'all just accept it. Y'all just like, men just don't ever even say anything. It is our job and our duty to say that, you know, in order for humanity, because we are the ones that have to control everything in order for us to have the babies that we need to have, that are that in order for that to have a livable condition. You know, women don't run shit. You know what I mean?
Your squad mate has entered the gulag. They'll need to survive to redeploy.
Now I know y'all try to be nice, bro, but fuck that.
Your squad mate won the fight. They're redeploying now.
I say that that's all virtue signaling. You're trying to be nice and shit. Let's just stop virtue signaling for a moment and fucking actually protect your kids. And actually understand that you're how can you be virtue signaling if you're going against God's word? Yeah.
Aquí te pagaron los calcetines, ¿ves?
Oh yeah. Déjalo ahí.
Los calzoncillos.
Déjalo allí. Man, be quiet. Tiene que estar gritando eso. Don't mind that. Yeah, like I said, bro, that is how it is, dog. And do you know how much that we put all that logical, you know what I'm saying, things aside just for a woman's feelings? You know what I mean? Like, we like on the daily, we just fucking ignore facts and logic and our spirituality and God and everything else just for a woman's fucking, what? Just so a woman won't feel uncomfortable and shit. Just so a woman can feel like she's actually equal to a man. How many men have had to, like, throw their fights, you know what I mean, and give, you know, and take it easy on women and you know, let them do whatever. You spoil them rotten. I mean, rotten.
Gas is closing in.
That's why they're so fucked up. I mean, that's why they're so fucked up. That's why they're so mean as fuck and they're spoiled rotten. And it makes no sense. And at the end of the day, they harm the babies. It's an actual even worse place than before. I don't think it works. I mean, I don't think that shit works. I don't think feminism works at all. I think what it creates is a disparity because women are become eugenic racist people. Evilness is nowhere. It's never okay to be evil. I don't care what the cost is. I mean, it's not okay to be evil. Like selling your soul or something. Like, that's not okay. No matter what. It's not worth it. They'd be like, yes, it is. Like, no, it ain't. I mean, what the fuck?
Requesting recon flyover.
Enemy marked.
But like I said, so yeah, you know, next time, you know, think about that, because like a lot of you guys smoke, a lot of guys drink when a girl leaves you, and but understand, you got billions of organisms inside of you, and when you smoke and drink, you're killing some of them. I mean, you're harming them. I mean, and you don't want to do that because of some whore that's evil that tried to kill a good one that actually made it to her egg, and you know, probably could have been healthy, probably could have been a leader, could have been a soccer player, could have been a you know, a great military leader. You know what I mean, could have been, you know, a great you know, she killed all the potential because she's an evil fucking whore. I mean, you get that? Y'all understand that?
Primary objective complete. All targets eliminated.
And then they get married and they're like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm married and shit. You know, respect me. I don't give a fuck. You fucking whore. You can't get married. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, shit. They change their stinking attitude is what's going on.
Enemies dropping into the AO. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Your squad mate was sent to the gulag. They'll fight for a chance to redeploy.
But yeah, like if you understand these things, then it'll be hard for them to fuck with you. You know, this is common sense, guys. I think that the problem is that women, like what I'm interrupting, is women who are in the process of brainwashing men. I mean, that's what's going on. And women are brainwashing men like their little boys, their little, the little sons, the little, school boys, school kids. You know, they're teachers, they're nurses. Like you wake up from a coma and you're like, yes, whatever, bullshit,
Gas is moving.
You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's how it is, dog. I feel like that's just how it is. And a lot of people, a lot of people don't want to admit that.
Outside the safe
But
zone.
women ain't if they ain't gonna admit it though. But that don't mean I'm wrong.
Go down to you now. Step up. Your squad mate lost the fight. They're RTB at this time.
Son of a bitch, bro. What the fuck, dude? You suck.
Contract failed. Lost.
Stupid fucking game, bro. Anyway. Like I was saying, dude. So yeah, next time, like, that's what you gotta know, man. Women, they objectify themselves, so I have no problem doing it either. They're like land parcels. You know what I mean? They're like real estate. I mean, you know, the real estate that is, they're real estate. Some of them are better than others. Some of them are more fertile, better land. Better land, more fertile land sometimes. You know what I mean? And what you're trying to do is you're trying to make a farm. You know what I mean? You're like a farmer, right? Like, like Adam. You know what I mean? And your job is to, like Adam, plant. You know what I mean? To survive. You understand what I'm saying? And so what your idea, what you want to do is find the best land that you can plant your seed in. But the problem is that you're buying a land in a communist country where where there's turmoil and shit, and people are stealing your land. You know what I mean? So in other words, they're stealing your woman, they're stealing your real estate. So when you try, when you think that this is a good piece of land to plant your seed, and what happens is you plant the seed, even though you do it in an unorthodox, way, like in other words, you don't get married, right? And so that's the whole point of marriage. Marriage is a right, marriage is a contract or right, binding agreement that this is your land. I mean, it's like that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? If you're just dating somebody, you don't exactly have rights to the land until somebody else comes along and then you claim it. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, if the land is willing to be yours and be called yours, then a piece of it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But the point is that with feminism, all this shit, you realize that you think it's your land, you try to plant your seed in it, and then you know what happens is she fucking uproots your seed, and she drowns it with infesticide. You know what I mean? So that it won't grow, and then she lets other men try to plant their seed too, and then she'll kill those too until she finds one that is willing to pay her the highest price. You know what I mean? Because they prostitute themselves. They're a bunch of whores. I mean, so that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like women are like parcels of land, and all you're trying to do is plant your seed on them and you know, and once you think it's yours, once you think you got it, she aborts that baby, and she fucking sells it to the highest bidder. She sells her legs. She sells herself to the highest bidder. I mean, so you know, yeah, that's how I mean that's the way I describe it. I mean, like all you want to do is plant your seed, right? But then you realize that it's like those lands are a war zone. You can't grow shit in those lands because she's, you know, they're burned. They're burned. You know, so that's how it is, bro. That's how I look at it.
Now this is a squad.
And
Green light, you're going to war zone. Grab your gear and shoot. You're up in 3. You are cleared hot on all threats. Watch your ass down there.
so
Let's roll.
that's how it is.
Battle Royale.
And that's what I wanted to say. It's just like, you know, like men, just remember that
Be advised.
that
Where are we going?
Gas is
women are also
to the safe zone.
evil.
Jesse not playing again?
And I do mean evil.
Jesse not. Oh, there's Jesse. That one's gonna be hot as hell. Alright, swing wide then.
Targets are up. Go take them down.
Alright. I'm dropping in.
You're losing ground. Move it.
Oh, bruh. Yo, let me live. Oh, fuck you. Anyway. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, you know, there are good women out there,
Down below.
and you gotta tell the difference, you know. By the way, like I said, a fornicating woman is evil. They're all fucked up. You just don't understand that they're evil, huh? Must suck being a pagan.
That's how it's done. Ready up for redeployment.
Yeah, but like a woman that cheats, that holds you around is evil. No, never forget that. No matter what year it is, no matter what fucking time it is, I don't give a shit. No matter who's president, no matter what kind of culture there is, don't forget
here's
what
somebody
evil
doing it.
is, my guys. It says, like, you know, I mean, that's why I always think like we're living in the last days.
God damn it.
The
He was
reason
building. I jumped, he jumped right behind me.
reason they don't want to have kids is because we're living in the last days.
Your squad mate is in the gulag.
That's what I think.
If they survive,
When I say that, I'm like, do I even mean myself? Like, just me? I don't know. At that point, it just gets a little bit too crazy. Fucking asshole. What the fuck,
Damn
dude? How did I fall straight into that trap? So yeah. Oh my god. Yep. Anyways, gotta go. Gotta split.
The sniper headshot.
Well, I'll just let this one play. This is the last game. But yeah, just so you understand, that's what it is. Don't ever forget it. It's for real, bros. Because a lot of hoes want to hear, they want to talk. Just next time a girl says that she's the goddess of life and she's a creation and that men ain't shit and that women are that they give birth to men. You know what I mean?
Remember you were talking about if you start off wrong.
Just tell her to. Just tell, and then they say it in that manner too. Just say, no, you're not. You're not the goddess of life. You're not the mother of God. You are a cunt. You know what I mean? Just say that. I mean, there's a difference. There's a huge difference.
I can't believe.
Oh crap. Anyway, because these girls they have abortions. They're not like the Virgin Mary. Okay, they give virgins an early menopause. Okay, they were screwing around when they were 15 and 16 years old. Okay, these are eugenic racist women that are trying to create designer babies so they can create a superior, race and stuff, genetic freaks and specimens. You understand transhumanism. You understand ethnic cleansing, killing off the Neanderthals, the Cro-Magnums, and the modern day Homo sapiens. These are people that are trying to play God. You understand what I'm saying? These are people that are trying to exalt themselves and don't have a problem creating a disparity where they, eradicate people off the face of the planet. You understand? These are transhumanistic motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? That will one day probably create using artificial intelligence will probably create a freaking a human specimen that is unrivaled and is unnatural, and it comes from a genetic fucking lab. You know what I mean? A laboratory fucking science experiment. You understand what I mean? These are people that have been playing with their genetics for fucking thousands of years, trying to play God. Okay? Don't let them fool you. You know what I mean? That is their religion. Their religion is to eradicate humans as we know it and replace them with superior genetics, what they call evolution. Or whatever. But it's unnatural. But it's not natural. It's transhumanism. Every time you got a shot for COVID, you were allowing your genetic material to be changed. You know what I mean? On a cellular level. You know what I mean? And thus, technically, you're not a human anymore. You are a transhuman because you allow you're genetically modified. You know what I mean? By COVID shots, you have all been genetically modified. You are not humans anymore. That is the truth. You know what I mean? I wonder that I think that regular humans would look still like a little bit. How they depict Cro-Magnons. Big eyes, looking like apes and so like stupid. You know what I mean? Well, we also say that they're stupid. But yeah, man, it's just the truth, bro. You know what I mean? And women are eugenic racists, like I said. If they aborted their babies and they said, "Oh, I only date with rich guys" and stuff like this, do not ever think that they're not evil. Is what I'm saying. Because don't be surprised. If you don't heed my warnings, don't be surprised when the devil, destroy your life. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing. It's not like they're gonna learn their lesson. Okay, I know that's what you want to believe, maybe that they'll learn their lesson. That no, it's not that bad, or or maybe I'm just being a little bit, anal, or being a little bit, a little bit superstitious or old fashioned, and I need to get with the times. That's what Planned Parenthood told these little girls. Yeah, these little girls, because they still act like little girls. When they were like 11 years old or 10 or 9, whatever the fuck they took Phlebis and sex education. I don't know what the fuck is going on now, because now I'm guessing they tell these kids that shit, like homosexual shit, when they're like fucking 5 years old. Completely ruining their lives, perverting them, so that they have like stupid daydreams and stupid fucking fantasies in their head that don't make no sense. It's called confusion and perverse, silly creations that your imagination and your mind is playing tricks on you because you were traumatized by some sort of fucking material that they gave you. You knew too much too soon. And so when nowadays when Planned Parenthood told them, oh yeah, your parents, they're old. They don't know what they're talking about anymore. We have science. We have technology. We have medicine. You know what I mean? There's no, you don't have to worry about, having multiple sex partners and whatever. You can do whatever feels good for you. That's what they told you, whores. I mean, so whenever those women say that's so old, just remember that's what the Planned Parenthood, their slave masters wanted them to. That's what their slave masters wanted them to think. I mean, just because women say this, they can't even break out of that ideology. They can't even break out of that brainwash. They can't break out of that. They have totally shown me that they cannot even break them. They cannot break free from eugenics. I mean, from Planned Parenthood. You know what I mean? For decades, they've been like this. They don't ever break out of it. What they do is they try to normalize it as they get older. As they get older, they start rationalizing and justifying and defending, you know what I mean, and their lifestyle, the way that they grew up, the way that they were taught. And I'm going to quote a beautiful song by Chester Bennington in Linkin Park. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington. It says, "You live what you learn. You try to act like you're someone. You live what you've learned." You know what I mean? It's because you live what you've learned, and you learn how to be a racist, eugenic person. You know what I mean? Baby killing whore. I mean, that is what you learn. That's what they taught you to learn. That's what they told you. I mean, they reinforced this idea when they took me to jail, and they took millions of guys like me to jail, and they blackballed us, they ostracized us, they criminalized us, and they all et cetera, got us locked up, and then they told you he's never gonna amount to shit because he got all F's this semester. Don't go out with him. He'll never be shit. Those racist ass teachers of yours. I mean, and as you grew up and you saw that my life became exceedingly different, you became just as ignorant as the white people with their privilege here that listen to Fox News and all that bullshit propaganda, and now they're MAGA fucking Donald Trump followers. You bitches are just the same. I mean, y'all just the same. If you think MAGA followers are the ones that follow Donald Trump that are racist, because Donald Trump's a racist. If you think that these people are stupid and ignorant, I think the same thing about you feminists and you women. I mean, and some of you Mexicans and some of you brown people and some of you black people, I think the same exact thing about you, because you allowed yourself to be played by eugenics, by Planned Parenthood. You killed your own babies. You cheated on your own men. And you grew up justifying and growing those ideas, expanding on those ideas. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Just so we're clear. I've been known that you was brainwashed. I mean, you just never wanted to break out of that shit. You know what I mean? And who am I to break it out? Because if I tell you the truth, you say I'm a hater. I talk to you honest, you say that I'm lying. You know what I mean? You were brainwashed by Planned Parenthood. There you go. Riddle me this. You know what I mean? Riddle me this. Who are the modern day racists? Feminists. You know what I mean? Whatever, it's like they've all been it's like they all sold their soul and have become drones for the upcoming apocalypse, and they're helping usher in this new fucking world order, transhumanism, feministic agenda, which is just to destroy men and oppress men and keep men pacified while the elites enslave them. I mean, and kill their babies and disconnect them from their traditional, from who they really are, from their identity. You know what I mean? While they build and fertilize, they get money and they build their fortifications, build their castles, build their weapons, build their army to the point that they amass so much and we have lost so much. By the time we realize it, there's going to be no way to stop these motherfuckers. And you bitches over here are just distracting us while they do all this shit. You bitches are the weakest link, right? And we're telling you, get in line, and you don't want to get in line. You actually try to tell us to get in line. But what the fuck do you stand for? The New World Order. I mean, that's what you stand for. Transhumanism. I mean, baby killing, Antichrist. That's the things that you stand for. Racism, disparity, ethnic cleansing, war. You know what I mean? As long as you have secured your seat, you don't care what happens to the rest of the people, right? That was your whole fucking point, right? You know what I mean? Because what the fuck are you gonna do anyway? You know what I mean? If you're in a sinking ship, you're gonna try to fucking leave and try to get on a motherfucking anybody who saves your ass, because you're pathetic ass fucking cunts. I mean, in other words, you'll sell your soul, your countrymen, and your kids, and you betray your own family, your own boyfriends, your own kids, your own God. You know what I mean? Just for a seat at the table with the devil. You know what I mean, can I be more clear than that? I don't know if I could be more clear than that. You know what I mean, you take the easy route. So that's why when I say that women ain't shit, it's because they ain't shit. You know what I mean? And they're just distracting you guys while, like I said, while the Matrix agents are trying to find you, trying to keep you asleep and blue pilled and docile and a pacifist. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, I'm out. I mean, and don't. And next time a girl tells you to grow up, tell her you should have let your baby grow up, but you had to kill it. You know what I mean? It's like next time a woman tells you to grow up, tell them that's what women should have done instead of aborting their baby. You know what I mean? I don't care. I mean, I wish I could be a kid again, because that rule that my mom gave me when I was a kid, which is, don't disrespect your elders, bro. I would have said some fire ass shit. You know what I mean, as a kid, like if I was a little boy, like imagine a little boy saying those things, bro. I would have said those things, bro. Like, don't worry, they're evil whores. Who cares how they feel? I mean, it's just my opinion. I don't care. Y'all care about how evil whores feel? That's on you. I mean, I personally don't care how evil whores feel. I mean, they're who? Like next to who? I mean, I don't know who them niggas at, bro. Never been there. You know what I mean? Never been there. Don't care. It's sad, bro. It's really sad. You know, the situation in my country is really sad. I get depressed just thinking about it, man. To be honest with you, it is fucking super sad. I mean, and the way that people are racist here is even more messed up. No, cause like I still have stories and shit. You know what I mean, of how fucked up things are. You know what I mean, over there. I mean, it's not a good thing. It's not a good time. Like, you people are so lucky to be Americans. You know what I mean, and yet y'all so evil at the same time. It's incredible. Racist. It's incredible. The thing that, like, when I hear about women that are trying to come over here and they get raped, they get beaten, they don't have shit. They're just trying to get something. They don't have nothing in life. Then you got people here that are whores. and pieces of shit that they don't appreciate what they got. They waste their time. You know, they waste things, they burn things, they destroy things. It's like the worst type of people over there too, man. It's just